everyone, my name is Igor, and in today's video I want to share with you the opportunity I had to invite Coach Rami. It's a great guy, young coach, former professional player, and I'm very happy to have and to had a great conversation with him, and I would like to share with you guys. So it's Coach Rami Abdulaziz.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry man,
Good
it's
job.
difficult
Good
for
job.
me.
Good job. A lot of people have a tough time and they give up on it. Good thing you didn't give
Okay,
up. Yeah.
all right. So former professional player in England in his early 20s, proudly Sudanese. So you're Sudanese.
Well, Moroccan Sudanese.
All right.
Sudanese and
So
Morocco.
but Sudan and Morocco speak the same language?
No. Well, yeah. They speak in Morocco they speak Arabic mixed with French. And then in Sudan they speak Arabic only.
Oh, okay. So do you speak French? You can understand a little bit?
We
Okay.
a
All
little
right.
bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Coach Remy played at competitive level, but after stepping away from playing, he found a new passion for, help young players. Now Coach Remy coach kids between the age of 9 and 12, focusing on building their skills, confidence, and love for the game. Brings energy, patience, and real experience to the field, always looking to make a positive impact through soccer. That's
Yeah.
it. All right. Okay, coach. So, as you talked before, I, I, I thank you for coming. I appreciate your help to,
Thank you
share.
for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a good
So,
opportunity, yeah.
exactly. So you can, share with us your experience, your opinion. I think this is important.
Yeah.
And the issue I have here, and I have been listening to all over the place, is pay to play, right? In the United States.
Yeah.
So uh, I have about 5 questions here, and I'd like to listen your opinion.
Yeah.
That's the main point for me. Okay, so the number one is, what's your opinion about pay to play?
Honestly, uh before I start, I would like to say thank you, Coach Igor. I appreciate you for having me on this podcast. It is a pleasure. And looking forward to having more episodes about, everyday's life in soccer and football. But my opinion about pay to play is I think the pay to play system is one of the biggest barriers in US youth soccer, right? It basically says if you can't pay, you can't play, which is insane to me. And coming from, a low income class, it's it's sad, when you get to see people that have parents that can be able to pay for it so they can play a sport that is worldwide and free of cost. And then you come to America and they charge you so you can be able to play a sport. And then you know what this does, coach? This leads the kids to going into bad directions in this world. It doesn't it yeah, I mean like it makes things harder for them to find something that's healthy and positive for the community and good for their health mentally and physically. And when they can't find it, they just go the other way because I can't afford it. I'll just go hang out with that group of kids that go around and do bad things in the street and stuff like that, or it forces them to figure out something else, even though they might be talented. Talent shouldn't depend on your family's bank account.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
what I'm saying?
sure, yeah,
It creates a system where only kids from wealthier families get access to the best coaching and competition. I have this guy. His name is DeAndre Yedlin. He's a U.S. men's national team player, right? He's the right back, and he played for, I believe, FC Cincinnati in MLS. He said, if I didn't, I quote, if I didn't have the financial help that I had, I wouldn't be where I am. And there are a lot of players who are probably more talented than I am who didn't have the help, and that's why they are not here. Which is why people don't know nothing about the MLS around the world. Nobody until Messi came. Messi
yeah,
was somebody who had talent. He came and showed everybody what the MLS is because the MLS has so much money from all these clubs that they make families pay for, and other agendas that they push, not just pay to play, but it's a lot of things that the MLS makes money out of. And
yeah,
guess what? They went and found the number one player in the world, in my opinion, the number one player in the world, come and expose this league for us. When they could have did it without him, right?
yeah,
They could have did it without Messi. They could have did it without Ibrahimovic. They could have did it without David Beckham. They simply could have made things profitable, non-profitable. I'm sorry, non-profitable
yeah,
just for a little bit, or you know, make it affordable, or give out some sort of loans or grants or something. If they want the money so bad, right? Have parents and families give them access to grants and loans, and have them pay it off slowly, little by little, when they get the chance and when they can afford to.
yeah,
But here in America, if you don't have 1,000 to 5,000, you can't play. You can't even sign up. Sometimes
gotcha.
families don't even have the sign up fee, which is about $100 to $400
Yeah,
just to sign up the name and put it on the roster for a tryout. Families don't even have that, which is, I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree.
understand. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could go on about this for days, you know.
I understand. Yeah, I share the same opinion. Yeah. Okay, coach. Thank you so much for your opinion about it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, uh, yeah, the question number two you already answered. In terms of the direction it's going and why.
Yeah,
Uh, the question number three, I'll tell you, if you have the power, okay, if you have the power to implement or change anything US youth soccer, what would you do and why?
that's a good question. That's a good question. I like that one because I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done, but if I could change one thing, I'd make sure that every club over a certain size has to offer a certain number of fully funded spots for talented kids who can't afford to pay. So like kind of like, a built-in scholarship system,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I'd set up a scouting network that goes into all neighborhoods
yeah,
around America because there's not a lot of scouts.
yeah,
There's not a lot of scouts for this league and or this sport, like how there is in basketball and football, in tennis and baseball. You have scouts now that are going all across the world, all across America, looking for kids. In America, with soccer, they don't have that. They don't have that. So it's like, not just in the suburbs. When I say in the neighborhoods, not just the suburbs. Have them go into the less fortunate neighborhoods because
yeah,
that is where most of the talent comes from. Because they have a different type of hungry. You know.
Yeah,
They want to be a good soccer player, not just for themselves, but they're for their future family and for their parents to be comfortable and get be able to kick their feet up, you know?
yeah,
A lot of these players that are unfortunate, they go first thing they do, they buy parent house.
yeah,
So that way talent from all backgrounds get a fair shot. It's about leveling the playing field, you know? You want to make it leveled. Not everybody come from up here rich, rich,
sure,
rich,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So it just I feel like yeah, scouting and like funding from the club, like,
yeah.
like you know, if the club
So
is very big, yeah, they should
yeah,
offer. Yeah.
you are telling that for sure you have a lot of kids in this country with a lot of talent, but not a lot of financial power to, be part of the process or,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Correctly. They don't have the access or the opportunity to even find a way to get that, you know,
Yeah.
that opportunity. They don't have they it's sad. They can't do it.
Because it's not only the the monthly fee you pay for the club, you also need someone at home to put the kid in the car and drive, 15,
Mhm.
20, 25 minutes back and forth every day or almost every
Yes.
day, weekends, all
Mhm.
that. So it's a lot of things. It's not only, you know, the financial situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I definitely think that is an issue where it's like, you know, unless it's not a lot of people that care for the community, but there are certain coaches that bypass that rule and break the rule just so they could help others and figure talent out, you know? There's a
Yeah,
lot of stories where players that couldn't afford a club and they still show up because they have the information of when the tryouts are and whatnot, but they don't have nothing but their mouth to say please and beg, which
yeah,
is very unfortunate. It's not necessary, and this shouldn't. Nobody should have to beg for anything in this world when it's all given from God. We
yeah,
don't,
yeah. You understand? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, coach. Thank you for that. So now I'll go for the next question. Question number four. Uh, Besides pay to play, because when the kids pay, it creates revenue for the club. That's their source of money. So would you have something in mind to make like a suggestion that could help the clubs to have another source of revenue besides pay to play? Would you have something in mind?
yeah. Having the background of studying, you know, sports marketing. No, I also study kinesiology, physical therapy, but I also switched to sports marketing. I uh I thought about a couple things, right? So some things that, were taught to me in my classes were if you want profit, do it the old school way. Go door to door and knock on people's houses. It's not bothering nobody, right? But it's start off close, right? Don't look at the big picture right away. Start off with the people that are closest to you, you know. See if they can willingly, even if it's $5,
Yeah,
give, donation, right? Donation. So like clubs could also partner with more local businesses
yeah,
with sponsorships. Like, in America, there's a lot of small businesses. A lot of people come to America for the opportunity to start a business.
yeah,
So it's like when these people come to America and start their small business, they want to expose their business as well,
yeah,
right? So it's like it works good for both sides.
yeah,
You're spreading your business out, putting it on a jersey, and they're traveling, going around to games. Different parents see it, different crowds see it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
At the same
community, yeah,
time, yeah. So at the same time, they're also getting, you know, money for helping you spread your business. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, for example, like a local restaurant or a gym could sponsor jerseys or events. Also one thing. in America that they don't do a lot is stream football. They don't stream a lot. So now
Yeah,
in 2025, streaming is becoming more popular.
yeah,
So
yeah,
why not start streaming youth games online? This could
yeah,
attract donations
yeah,
and with the streaming, instead of watching, like, how people watch TV, they see commercial. It's something new. It's called small ads advertisements, right? So it's like little advertisements can pop up in your stream, right? And those advertisements, they pay you to put it in your stream.
yeah.
So every time you run somebody's advertisement, you get revenue, you get profit,
Sure.
and that you could put towards your club.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, you know, think about how youth basketball or even esports live streams, they get ton of views now. Parents, relatives, and local fans would tune in. That's a revenue stream that's barely been tapped into soccer. So
yeah,
streaming, small sponsors.
yeah, yeah. It's like some people like to say is think outside the box. So try something different, something new. Yeah,
Yeah, something
exactly.
new and thinking
Yeah,
outside the box is definitely a way to,
yeah,
make profit. People love something different every day in this life. You can't keep doing the same old thing. Then
yeah,
heads will turn away. They'll be like, "Oh, I already know what it is. You don't have to show me."
yeah,
But when they hear something new, they'll be like, hold on. I never heard of this before. This is new in my life. Let
yeah,
me see. We adults and humans are still, we have something, in our brain that functions like a baby when we
yeah,
hear something new. When it's new, we give attention to it because we want to know.
yeah,
We are nosy sometimes, you know. We
yeah.
want to know what it is. So, you know, streaming is something that could, gain the revenue of a club and small local business sponsors.
Okay. Thank you, coach. So I don't wanna, take too much of your time.
You're
The
very
last
welcome.
question. The last question. Uh, what's your feelings for U.S. national team for the next World Cup and why?
I mean, sorry, one second. Sorry. My camera just turned off. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you see me?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Okay, now good.
All right.
Yeah,
As a resident in America, I'm excited. But as a football fan, I'm not excited because we've been to Rio de Janeiro, which is a beautiful scenery, coach. We've been to South Africa, beautiful scenery. It's not always about, how much money can the FIFA make off of this, but it's becoming to a point where soccer is turning into a business.
yeah,
So I feel like, having it in America is very exciting because we get to see it, and for the first time, But you know, with the World Cup happening here in the U.S., I think the team will be super motivated. The U.S. team,
yeah.
like, players like Christian Pulisic, Weston McKinney, Gio Reyna, Tyler Adams. You know, they'll be in their prime, and now they have something to showcase where they could, to the world and
Yeah.
put MLS in a spotlight.
On the map. Yeah,
Yeah. And with all the investments going into MLS academies and young talent, we might finally see that next step, like reaching the semifinals or even shocking the world. Honestly, like the crowd energy and home field support will be huge. These Americans, coach, one thing about them, they will support very strong.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm very optimistic. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. It's something first time in history, and very happy that it's helping, you know bring the name of soccer in America,
Yeah.
more exposed to the world because not a lot of people know about football in America, you
Yeah.
know? So it's very smart, very exciting, and it's gonna be fun, you know. I
Yeah.
believe the finals will be in New Jersey where we are actually. So
Really.
yeah. And
Wow.
but the thing is these tickets, coach, these tickets are
I know.
insane.
I can. It's
I
insanity.
I you know, one ticket is $2,000. I'll go get an airplane and fly over and just watch from the airplane with that ticket.
Ay,
I pay for it. I pay 2,000 to give it to a pilot to an airplane so I could go from here to somewhere out of America. As I'm leaving, I'll just watch. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
but it's very expensive. I don't know,
Yeah.
and I hope they use this to benefit them and not
Yeah.
ruin it because there's a couple ways you could ruin this and there's a couple ways where you can make it very
Yeah.
profitable, and beneficial.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's how I feel.
Okay, coach. So thank you so much. You know, thank you for your, your help, your opinion, your reflection. Okay, thank you. I really
Course, of
appreciate
course,
that.
of
Yeah.
course. Thank you so much for having me on here once again
Okay. Okay.
and giving me great questions. Honestly, these are questions that must be asked so that people can know what's going on in this
Yeah.
world or why things are happening. And it
Yeah.
needs more exposure. And thanks to you, Coach, you are amazing for this.
All
And
right.
this stuff like this can't go unnoticed. So, thank you so much for having me on here. It was a pleasure, and I hope to be back here soon.
Okay. Thank you, coach. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Have a good night.
most
Okay.
definitely. You
All
too,
right.
Coach. Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.